In part 1, I told you about a $2 powder that the energy industry buried in 1974, a compound that ancient Egyptians used to keep palaces cool in 45-degree desert heat, a material that a federal researcher named Dr. Harold Hay proved could cut your heating and cooling bill by nearly half, for a total cost of $80. And I told you that the HVAC industry, a $240 billion machine built entirely on your dependence, made sure that research never reached you. If you have not watched part 1, go back and watch it first. The full story matters. But if you are here, you already know the history. You already know the science. You already know why they buried it. Now it is time to talk about what happened to the knowledge after they tried to erase it, where it survived, who kept it alive, and exactly how you can use it this weekend to start cutting your electric bill permanently. Welcome back to Forbidden Camping. Let us finish what we started. Here's what makes this suppression particularly remarkable. It did not require secrecy. It did not require a conspiracy. It required nothing more than the systematic removal of inconvenient knowledge from the places where people go to learn. Think about the last time you received an energy-saving tip from your utility company. LED bulbs, smart thermostats, Energy Star appliances, programmable timers. Every single recommendation on that list requires you to buy something. Every single recommendation generates revenue for someone. Not one of those tips has ever mentioned calcium carbonate. Not one has ever mentioned reflective coatings. Not one has ever mentioned the thermal management techniques that ancient civilizations used to keep buildings comfortable without electricity, because those techniques require you to buy a $2 bag of powder and apply it yourself. The Department of Energy's official website lists dozens of energy-saving strategies for homeowners. Seal air leaks, add insulation, upgrade your HVAC system, install a heat pump. Every recommendation on that list involves either purchasing equipment or hiring a contractor. The word whitewash does not appear once. In 2019, a team of researchers at Columbia University published a paper in the journal Nature Climate Change demonstrating that widespread adoption of high albedo building coatings could reduce urban temperatures by up to 3 degrees Celsius, dramatically cutting cooling energy demand across entire cities. The paper received significant academic attention. It was cited in over 200 subsequent studies. It generated 0 consumer product launches, 0 government incentive programs, 0 utility company recommendations, because the solution it described costs $2 and lasts 20 years. This is not an accident. This is the architecture of a system designed to keep you spending. Here's where the story gets interesting. Because the knowledge never actually disappeared, it simply moved to the margins where the industry could not reach it. In 2012, a team of researchers at the University of California, Berkeley launched a project called the Global Cool Cities Alliance. Their mission was to document the real-world energy savings achieved by high albedo coatings on residential and commercial buildings in cities around the world. What they found was extraordinary. In Ahmedabad, India, a city of 7 million people where summer temperatures regularly exceed 45 degrees Celsius, a pilot program applied calcium carbonate-based reflective coatings to the roofs and exterior walls of 3,000 homes in low-income neighborhoods. The results were measured over 2 full summers. Interior temperatures in treated homes dropped by an average of 4.5 degrees Celsius during peak heat hours. Residents reported sleeping through the night for the first time in years. Hospitalizations for heat-related illness in the treated neighborhoods dropped by 30%. And electricity consumption for cooling dropped by an average of 28%. Use total material cost per home, approximately $15. In Athens, Greece, a research team from the National Technical University applied a calcium carbonate and marble dust compound to the exterior walls of 50 residential buildings in a dense urban neighborhood. Over 3 summers, they measured a consistent reduction in cooling energy demand of between 35 and 42%, compared to untreated buildings in the same neighborhood. The compound they used was chemically identical to the opus albarium that Roman engineers applied to buildings in the same region 2,000 years ago. In Phoenix, Arizona, a homesteader named Marcus Webb read about reflective coatings in an obscure 1970s energy research document he found in a university library archive. He mixed calcium carbonate powder with a standard exterior latex primer and applied it to the south and west-facing walls of his home in the summer of 2021. His July electricity bill dropped from $340 to $198. His August bill dropped from $312 to $187. He has not paid more than $210 for electricity in any summer month since. Total material cost, $64. In rural New Mexico, a passive house builder named Elena Cortez has been applying calcium carbonate-based exterior coatings to every home she builds for the past 12 years. Her clients consistently report heating and cooling bills between 40 and 55% lower than comparable homes in the same area built with conventional methods. She learned the technique not from an architecture school or a government program, but from a 1974 Department of Energy research document that she found in a university library archive. The same document that was filed and forgotten after the oil crisis ended. The knowledge survived. It always does. You cannot bury a law of physics. You can only make people forget it exists. Now here is what you actually came for. How to do this yourself. This is the part they do not teach, so pay attention. The compound you need is calcium carbonate. You may also see it labeled as limestone powder, chalk powder, or agricultural lime at garden supply stores. Do not confuse it with hydrated lime or quicklime, which are chemically different and require careful handling. Pure calcium carbonate powder is safe, non-toxic, and inexpensive. You will need the following materials. 1 50-pound bag of calcium carbonate powder, available at garden supply stores or online for between $15 and $25. 1 gallon of exterior latex primer, available at any hardware store for between $20 and $30. 1 gallon of exterior latex paint in the lightest color available, ideally pure white. A standard paint roller and extension handle. A paint tray. Painter's tape for edges and trim. Total material cost for an average home exterior, between $60 and $90. Here is the process. Start with your south-facing and west-facing walls. These receive the most direct solar radiation during the hottest parts of the day and are responsible for the majority of your summer cooling load. If you can only treat one wall, make it the south-facing wall. Mix your calcium carbonate powder into the exterior latex primer at a ratio of approximately 1 pound of powder per gallon of primer. Stir thoroughly until the powder is fully incorporated. The mixture will be slightly thicker than standard primer, but should still roll smoothly. Apply this mixture as your base coat to the wall surface. Allow it to dry completely, which typically takes 4 to 6 hours. Apply your white exterior latex paint as the finish coat over the dried base. 2 coats of finish paint will maximize the reflective surface and extend the life of the treatment. For interior applications in winter climates, mix calcium carbonate powder into interior latex paint at the same ratio and apply to your north-facing interior walls. This creates a radiant barrier that reflects heat back into the room rather than allowing it to transfer through the wall to the exterior. The treatment will last between 8 and 15 years depending on your climate and weather exposure before requiring reapplication. In most climates, a single reapplication every decade is sufficient to maintain full thermal performance. For maximum effect, combine the wall treatment with a roof application. Applying a calcium carbonate-based coating to your roof surface can reduce attic temperatures by up to 30 degrees Celsius on a hot summer day, dramatically reducing the cooling load on your entire home. If you rent your home and cannot modify exterior walls, you can achieve a significant portion of the benefit by applying a calcium carbonate-based interior paint to your south and west-facing interior walls. Independent testing has shown interior applications still reduce cooling energy consumption by between 15 and 25%. The total time investment for treating the exterior of an average home is 1 weekend. The total cost is under $90. The projected annual savings at average American electricity rates is between $400 and $900 per year. The treatment pays for itself in the first summer. Let me be honest with you about the limitations. Calcium carbonate coatings work best in climates with significant solar radiation. In regions with predominantly overcast skies, the reflective benefit is reduced, though the thermal break effect still provides meaningful insulation value. The treatment is most effective on walls with direct sun exposure. Shaded walls provide less benefit, and the compound does not replace insulation. If your walls have inadequate insulation, Adding a reflective coating will improve performance but will not fully compensate for missing insulation. But for the vast majority of homes in temperate and sunny climates, which covers most of the populated world, this technology works. It has been proven over and over again across 3,000 years of human building practice and 50 years of modern scientific research. The limitations are real but manageable. The suppression is what is unforgivable. Dr. Harold Hay died in 2008. He spent his final years watching the industry he had challenged continue to grow, watching homeowners pay hundreds of dollars every month for a problem he had solved for $80 in 1974. He did not become famous. His research did not transform the housing industry. His name does not appear in any architecture textbook published after 1985. But the chemistry he documented does not care about quarterly earnings reports. Calcium carbonate does not care about HVAC industry lobbying. The sun does not care about utility company revenue models. The albedo of a white surface has been 0.85 to 0.93 since before the first Egyptian architect mixed limestone powder into plaster. It will remain 0.85 to 0.93 long after every energy company that buried this knowledge has been forgotten. Some knowledge cannot be destroyed. It can only be hidden. And hidden is not the same as gone. The ancient Egyptians knew it. The Greek islanders knew it. The Persian ice house builders knew it. Dr. Harold Hay knew it. And now you know it. Every wall you treat is a wall the energy industry cannot meter. Every home that heats and cools itself is a home that has escaped the system. Every person who shares this knowledge is preserving what someone decided you should not have. We did not lose this technology. We were made to forget it. But forgetting is not permanent. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe and share it. Every share preserves what the energy industry tried to erase. Every subscription keeps this channel digging where they do not want us to look. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier.